Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade and
Shade
the
in the
City.
City.
I'm your girl, Treese.
It's Nellz.
And today we are here to jump into our review of the 90-Day Fiancé. We know you missed us. We miss y'all, 90-Day fans, viewers. So yes, welcome back. We had a little break, and honestly, I was thankful because TLC, you're still not getting the memo about these show.
So for me, mine said an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, see, mine said an hour 25. But anyway, so yeah, y'all. If you haven't already, all of our newest Shade Squad and new viewers, please make sure that you hit that like button.
And a subscribe button.
And y'all, let's get into it and let's get shady. So we had to kick it off with a bang, didn't we? We start off with Rob and Sophie.
Oh, and you were right. I got all the good ones.
Yeah. So they're arguing about a whole incident at the sex shop. He basically tells her she needs to figure out, where she wants to be. Okay.
Where
He said when you really love someone, you just don't treat them bad. Okay. And so basically he doesn't like the idea of her being able to have a side partner. Sophie says she just felt like he was just looking for a green light to smash somebody else. And they agree to move past it. And she says as long as Rob understands she doesn't want him messing with any female, with her or without her, then they good. And I was like, okay, they did see.
When she said that, it didn't look like that's what he understood though.
I think he just wanted to move past it. So they try to make a meal in this studio.
Humble abode.
Yeah. There's no room. I feel like, and this is gonna sound terrible. I know all studios are different, but I've had many studios and I've always felt like I've had a place to cook. Like a
No,
kitchen.
he had a full stove.
But
Just got no counters.
they at least give you a little count, a little.
He pulled out a whole table.
Well,
That was about as big as the cutting board.
So then she gets a text from her mom saying that she lands in 30 minutes. Rob isn't thrilled about hearing the news that her mother's coming. He says Sophie's mom's problematic and a little bit disrespectful. And I'm sorry, I don't know what y'all think, Shade Squad, but now don't get me wrong. Everything she say ain't wrong, but she is a tad bit disrespectful, okay? She keeps asking
She
him
don't like his ass.
well,
And she think her daughter can do better.
true, but still, you ain't gotta be disrespectful to somebody else's child.
I mean, you aggravating.
So she keeps asking him if he's excited to see her, and I didn't really understand that because I was like, he's not excited to see your mom. So why are you gonna keep like? It just didn't make
Want to
sense.
start some mess,
Right? Look. Did you not see that the apple don't fall far from the tree, Rob? And she's just as problematic as her mama. But anyway, so Rob thinks he and Sophie have hit many bumps and basically don't want her mom being another one of them. So then they make it to the hotel to see her mom, and her first few words are, she'll unalive him if he hurts her.
Let me ask you this.
What?
When they was in the car, did you think that they was on the way to the airport?
I did. I did too.
And I was like, where the hell is this woman gonna fit? Why didn't they just order her Uber? Then when they pulled up to the hotel, I said, oh, she don't want to stay in that shithole.
Oh, yeah, I knew she won't stay at the house. Mama got sense. Mama got sense. Sophie done told her enough that she's like, nah. And look, Mama's like, I have no problem admitting I have money. Okay. And have no problem spending it. So anyway, so yeah, they get there and she tells production she hopes that he steps it up because she feels he's a little immature. She wants to know about the wedding and, volunteers to help out. And then she insists on Sophie, having a bouquet to throw because she wants to be the one to catch it. She's never been married. And so, and Rob lets her know that, it's a small wedding, like it's just my mom and my sister, like, and you, I don't think you have to worry about catching it. And she's like, yeah, because I'll knock your mama to the floor. And so he goes on to say, well, yeah, that's, you don't have to worry about that. My mom's not that aggressive. I don't think it was that serious with the aggressive thing. But her mom goes to say, basically it triggers her and she lets him know that she's not aggressive. And he he was like, but did you realize what you just said? You just said you would knock my mama on the floor. That sounds pretty over a bouquet. That sounds pretty aggressive.
Mhm.
So Sophie's like, come on, it's joking, it's English
You just
humor.
don't get us.
You don't get us. Croquettes and tea. So
Jeez.
and no, so mom feels like it was a dig. So he's like, I was joking, just like y'all was joking. So now nobody can joke. And I said, y'all don't like each other. It just is what it is.
Well, yeah. That's why I don't see neither. That's why for either one of them, I don't see it as bad. I mean, I can understand if they was cursing each other out, but we have an understanding that we don't like each other. So
No, because then here's mama egging it on. I know you got something.
got something to say. You want to say you hate me, don't you? Because she wanted to get there because she don't like. But that's what I'm saying. With the things that they were saying to me, I don't think it was that bad because they know that they don't like each other. Now, maybe if they were trying to push each other's button, yes, maybe so. But neither one of them really took it there. So I mean, I felt like what they were saying wasn't that bad because the way it seemed like the way they feel about each other, it could have went there.
Well, she decides to insult him a little bit more, but tells him he can't take a joke. And then talks about how she can't wait to see their place the next day. So then
she said that, I said, she's like, you know what? F all this, F all the small talk. I can't wait to see your place.
now here's my thing. I agree with a lot of the things that she said. Next scene. However, I do think that she gives vibes of Donna and just other mothers who have very wild attachments to their kids and because she ain't had the love
and
of a
think
man
that they can be with somebody better.
and because she ain't
Listen, I can't blame this girl's mama because I wouldn't want my child staying in no rat hole with some man that refuses to get a job and can't do for her, arguing in the store about the price of a damn ring. So you should have had all it figured out before she got there.
well,
You making promises that you're gonna do it, and then when she get there, it's because you spoiled and you have help, and I don't have that. You gonna aggravate the out of me. And I might listen, and because I can't be the bad guy and talk to you the way I want to so that my child will end up hating me, I'm gonna aggravate your ass and make you just want to leave.
so her mom finally comes over, see their place, and he's all nervous, but he's basically telling Sophie, like, please be mindful, like, checking your mom because she be saying a lot of sideways, and I can't really say nothing because it's your mom. So, she walks in, she's immediately turned off by
She liked the courtyard. She liked the courtyard. She gave props.
She liked the courtyard, but she was turned
She
off
was turned off by the outside
bathroom.
bathroom.
Right.
Everybody's turned off by the outside
Right.
bathroom.
Nobody is faulting her for that. I think that's universal.
She like said, you ain't got no bathroom in the house.
Right. So Sophie gives her the grand tour and she's astonished.
All she had to do was look around.
Look, I said it only took 2 steps. And so she asked about the safety, and Sophie tells her that they heard gunshots the other night. His mom brings up why he didn't find something else when he.
First of all, let me say this. Sophie is not innocent in any of this, okay?
No, she's not, because she's supposed to be a rider, and she's like, no.
Every now and then, she was doing things and saying things to throw him right under that damn bus, okay?
Well, again, to Sophie's point, she said these are things that I told you, which we do know. She had these conversations with him, but here's the difference between me and Sophie. I wouldn't have got my ass on a plane if you didn't have your shit together before I came over here. Make it make sense. So, yeah, so basically the mom is getting on him like, you should have found something else if you knew Sophie was coming. Rob blames it on the fact he's been spending money just trying to see Sophie. I'm not going to lie to you. Shade Squad, y'all have heard me say it more than once. There is nothing more unattractive than a man that does not have it together, but he is spending money on you. Work on yourself, brother, then come talk to me, please. And that's basically what her mama told him. You
She
should
said
have
a
been a
real
man.
man. She said
And
a
you should have
real
told her,
man.
we can't see each other right now. I need to save up. I need to put a deposit. I need to find a job. I need to do all these things. And you weren't doing it. You were pussyfooting around.
He said, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
That doesn't mean I'm a real man. It was
Why
terrible.
would I do a thing like that?
So in that moment, I gotta give it to Sophie's mom. She hit it on the head. I said, well, damn. And basically she said she's standing 10 toes down. He could have done more. Sophie doesn't want to agree, like Nellz said, but she admits that she'd been saying all this stuff before. And then, she talks about, and then she throws in, plus I kept telling you to get a job and you didn't have a job either. I said, damn. Look, she didn't throw him under the bus. She pushed him in front of it, okay? And so then he really gets frustrated and says they don't understand what it's like. Basically, they don't know struggle life because it's always been handed to them and they can just make a phone call and they don't know what it's like to be at the bottom. And, they've never been through anything. And that was the end of Rob and Sophie.
Next up is Jasmine and Gino.
This is her favorite.
It is. It's one of my favorites. It is. No, I'm not gonna down. Okay. So Gino felt like Jasmine was super stressed, so he decided to take her salsa dancing, which is crazy because we've seen previously he completely sucked at it.
Right.
Jasmine knows this, so she's super nervous because every time they dance, he hurts her damn feet. But to her surprise, okay, he did amazing. He actually made her proud. He followed instruction and
I was proud of him. I said, okay, look at Gino 1-2 step.
He was stiff as hell, but his feet was in the right places, okay? Not on her feet.
Right.
Then it looks like maybe they were possibly on a pier or something. I don't know where the hell they were.
They were at South Point Pier.
Okay. Now they took a picture for Fiancé. He loves getting pictures and videos of them in Miami. And, he said all this in the message, okay? And also said that he loves Gino. Said that he loves Gino, okay? Papa Gino.
I will say this. Let me just say this. I will be a bigger woman, okay, and admit that I was wrong for maybe throwing some at Jasmine and where her missing son was. Okay, I just want to say we found that out. My apologies. We now know why he's not on camera, why all the things are happening. I'm happy that TLC, maybe because they were probably getting so many complaints, like, where is the other little boy? I don't know, but I can admit when, okay, we were hard on her, or at least I was. And yes, the other son, we'll get into that. Go ahead. I'm just saying, my bad, Jasmine, my bad.
So Jasmine thinks that it's amazing that, her son already sees him as a father. Gino says that he's looking forward to bringing her kids over and being a father figure for them. But then, of course, he brings up, when the hell am I getting my own biological child? If I'm not,
and he said he's 55. I was like, and you still trying to do it?
Am I mistaken? Or at one point was Jasmine trying to get pregnant? Wasn't she taking like pregnancy tests and stuff?
I think she was playing him. I don't think she was trying to get pregnant because I feel like even from when they were in, when we first saw them with the pictures, the naked pictures, she was on birth control and she didn't want to tell him she was taking birth control because he was trying to knock her up thin. And I think she just got tired of trying to lie about it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, tired of I think she has before, like, oh, I don't know if it's worked, but she's made it very clear that she's been on birth control. She's not trying to been conceived with Gino since they started.
Well, Jasmine tells him that she's not ready. Okay. She says that there's things surrounding, having children that bothers her that Gino's really just not aware of. So she did let him know that it's hard when you have a special needs child. Apparently her youngest, JC, is special needs and he's nonverbal. She said the hardest part is not having a child of special needs. It's the people. She said, you know, when you're in public, sometimes they're not acting like typical neurotypical children. You know, you get stares and dirty looks. And she's worried that she may not be able to give him a neurotypical child. Gino assures her that regardless to what type of child they have, he's in this. Okay. He said, I'm gonna love that child anyway. It's my baby. We got this. Okay. Which makes her feel like you know, that the child, if they do have a child together, the child will be lucky to have the both of them. I thought it was cute.
It was a sweet little moment. I said, I don't even know why they on our TV screen playing like they got problems. So Sam and Citra, all right. Let me just say that between, and it might be me being judgmental again, I don't care. But between Sam's mother and his father, I understand why he might have had some issues. So Citra just learned that, you know, Sam was being stupid and didn't fill out his paperwork, and so he may not get, you know, his diversion or whatever. So he may be going to jail after they get married, and, you know, obviously she can't work. So she's like, what I look like marrying him, and then the next day he going to jail. Sam knows that it's his fault and, you know, worries if she's gonna, you know, stay. But, you know, because she ain't really been talking to him since he told her. And Citra basically says that she's still upset, but she's waited 2 years to get to America and she's gonna stick beside him. And I said, I'm starting to look at you differently, Citra. I don't know. Drop down in the comments, let me know what you think, but it's giving, I want a green card. And I'm not trying to be, I just don't, I can understand hold somebody down, like I get that. But we see it's hard for people that are here that are like in the same, and you talking about, I don't know. But
I want to know what the plan is, because she mentioned that, you know, if he does get locked up, she has no idea how she's going to be supported because she can't work.
right. So he worries about telling her father, and she lets him know, you know, he should be basically. And said that if he takes her back to Indonesia, then their relationship is over. Citra says that she's gonna make him pay for keeping secrets, and apparently does this by making meals as spicy as possible. And we don't need to get into his movements, and we'll leave that there. So then Sam and Citra go to visit his mother so they can meet her for the first time. Sam says that they've been estranged for like 10 years, and I can understand why. They're currently, you know, trying to rebuild things. He gives warnings to Citra on her way, and absolutely he should have.
The whole ride.
He wants to keep her and Citra apart because his mother is very outspoken and very preachy. Citra is hopeful things will go well because she doesn't have her mother anymore and hopes his mother can be like a second mom. Girl.
What's hilarious to me is he said that she's the type that is super preachy, but doesn't
don't live
follow.
out.
Yeah.
Right. It always be those ones. So then, you know, the mom seems welcoming at first, and she introduces grandma as well. Everybody seems good. Citra doesn't know what Sam was so concerned about. And then his mom says she's excited about them getting married. She asks if they're having a Muslim wedding. And then she asks about him converting. And she feels that he shouldn't have to convert. And says that she would prefer if they served the same God that she did. I said, you were disrespectful. And I love Jesus. I ain't got no problem with nobody else that love Jesus, but I can respect other people and
Other people's Jesus.
Right. And I was just like, oh wow. She asked, you know, about what happens if Sam doesn't convert. And basically she was like, well, I probably won't ever talk to him again. So she tells the production how, oh, and
She ain't say that.
That's what Citra said. What she say?
No, she didn't. She said she was gonna try to convince him. She's like, I'll just keep on trying.
Oh. Well, then she go, I'm sorry, that's what I got. Then she tell, look, this is why you need two people. I was just so mad with his mama. I couldn't get over the mama that I just, you know, I might have missed some things because I was just focused on this nasty, okay? So basically she tells production, how do you go to a wedding that you don't approve of? And you know, Citra thinks that, you know, they were fine, they leave. He basically, he starts to see his mother going left. And so he dodges out of there. And he's like, yeah, it went better than I thought. And then his mom tells production that prayerfully everything will work out. And they're like, well, what are you praying for? She just sitting there smiling like this.
They was like, it doesn't really seem like that. She's like, maybe. It's like, girl. But that's the thing. He knew his mama. He knew that all of that was a front. He was glad that she fronted so that, you know,
Because it makes me feel like, is she going to be able to make it through this ceremony?
it sounds like she's not going. That's what I understood. I understood that she's not going. The grandma,
And I'm being so, I wouldn't want her to go.
the grandmother said
She's
going.
super, grandma said she coming, but no, mom is super disrespectful and outspoken, and you can not like something or not do the same thing as somebody and still not be disrespectful to them. I really didn't like his mother. If y'all ain't got that from, I really did not like his mom. And I feel bad for him, and I think that's why he may have had issues.
You okay with the alien lover though?
I said mama and daddy. Okay.
All right. So next
Now
up,
this is her real favorite.
child please. You know what? I'm indifferent. There's I don't hate him, but I don't
You
love
like
him.
the drama.
You know, I I think one time you said something about how she's getting cuter. And I just looked at you and I was just like, and I'm sitting here trying to see it, and I'm like, but she doesn't look that bad to me anymore. I was like, maybe I'm just getting used to her face. I'm just getting used to the cat.
I grow on.
That's what I think. That's what I'm thinking. So yes, next up is Nikki and Justin. If you
Ain't figured it out yet.
exactly. So Nikki and Justin left the winery. He still doesn't get why Nikki's so upset. He's like, I just had sex with a friend. What is the big deal? Okay. And
Very
Nikki
immature for somebody supposed to be like 40 years old or something.
who?
Isn't Justin like, well, he may be like late 30s, I thought, but because I don't know. Didn't he say, I don't know. Maybe
After talking to his friend, I'm thinking it's a cultural thing, child. It is. I don't think it got anything to do with age. So Nikki basically told him, well, if you invested as much as I did, I think you'd be upset like me too. I guess, she's got some valid points there. So then he said, maybe we can try it together, suggesting that they have a threesome. I think if the car was stopped, she would have jumped her ass right out of there because she almost lost it. She was like, we just went from a conversation from you cheating on me to now you telling me you want a threesome.
Well, you know what I thought about, what I would have been more upset about. You don't even want to do it to me, just me and you. And now you want to invite somebody else? That's a major insult. I can't even get you to give it to me.
That's basically what she said. She said, basically, I'm feeling like I'm the sugar mama while you just out here screwing other people because you ain't doing nothing with me.
Right.
I ain't getting nothing. Okay. You the one with all the benefits. Okay. But she tells him basically she's done all the exploring in her 20s, and he tells her, well, I have.
Oh no. We ain't gonna skip over here. She said, I've been around.
I ain't there yet.
World.
I'm not there yet. We still in the car.
Upstairs, downstairs, and
We
behind.
She folded
into a pretzel.
No, I'm not skipping anything. We're still in the car right now. We're still in the car.
She said I had back, front, side to side.
She sure no did. So then they get to the house and she seems to be packing up, but then she comes out because she's still pissed and she wants to have a conversation. Okay. She wants to know how many friends, I'm sorry, he had sex with. I think he was lying because he knew she was already upset.
Two, right?
But yes, he said 2 because I think he didn't want to give some extreme number. But I think it's BS. Then they get into a conversation about threesomes. And she talks about how much of a hoe she was. That's what Teresa's talking about. Okay. How many girls she, knocked down at once. How many dudes that knocked her down at once. But she said, you know what? The max for her was 3. 3 was just too much. All at once. What she do for a living? Well, I wonder what she did back then. Because it's giving very much.
She said she was a once upon a time, not long ago, I was a
I want to know if she was doing it for pleasure or doing it for money. I'm curious.
She said she was doing it for survival.
That was back in the day. That was back when she got put out and stuff. not when she was who she is. She was doing all of this when she was who she is. Okay. And he's like, oh, basically, I want to be advanced like you. I'm trying to get on your level. Okay. But he says that he's not talking about right now. He's talking about after they get married, because right now he just wants to focus on them. So she almost lost it again. She's like, okay, so you want to wait until we have our vows, okay, to sleep with other women. That's what you're telling me, okay? And she really just doesn't know where she wants this relationship to go, where they go from here. Now, Justin lets Nikki know.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Time out. I'm sorry.
What?
It's the most irritating part about Nikki and Justin. I think I've said this multiple times. The relationship is not going anywhere. It's going straight to hell. I don't know why she can't see it. He can't see it. He's trying to convince himself he's still I don't know why we keep doing this. You're not getting it from him. He's not willing to give it to you, but barely, just so you can keep paying you're paying for all the things that he's doing for you. I couldn't even see the trip that he planned as romantic because she's paying for it, more than likely. Like, what is he really? He's not. I just don't. So she's irritating me at this point because it's not going anywhere, and she needs to let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
And then it looked like next episode he gonna break up with her.
So then Justin let Nikki know, if you need time to cool off, I want to go see my friend Ivan. And she really don't give a damn because she want to talk to her mama anyway. So he met up with Ivan. He let him know, that Nikki was asking him questions about whether, he's been with anyone else. He was like, I'm a normal man. Of course I have. But Ivan, he says that he understands why she would be jealous. Okay. But then it was clear that this is not who he needs to be talking to. He talks about how women are naturally manipulative. They're going to find reasons to trust you or not. And he has to show her his masculine side because he's stronger than her.
Well, that was after he said that she's too masculine.
There's natural women that are masculine, though.
No, I get what you're saying.
My thing is,
I didn't know
all these friends that you were sleeping with, they were all super feminine. Dudes would think that you're masculine for raising your voice. So I want to know what these women were like, because it's giving.
He was just tapping them, so maybe it didn't get that deep.
I feel like listen. I don't know. And women, he calls her masculine for asking for sex. Natural women ask for sex.
No, absolutely they do.
I feel like he uses this word masculine because she's trans.
Oh, so now you think he's using it to as a dig?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, while he's out talking to Ivan, Nikki is telling her mom basically everything that happened and how this man was a threesome, how he slept with other women, how he didn't take their relationship serious until he proposed. Her mom is not even really trying to hear it. She's just like, absolutely not. You need to give this man an ultimatum. Let him know that either y'all get married and start your family together, or that's it, because this is not the type of relationship that you want. Okay. And at this point, she just feels like she has a lot to consider. She has, and then I know she was talking about some damn engagement parties. I don't even know why that would even come up in the conversation.
This is what I'm saying. Even when you said that about her mom, I was like, why did mom just be like, girl, really? At your big 47 years of age, we still.
It was crazy to me how they both just kind of skipped past him sleeping with other women.
Yeah, they moved past that. Well, because she did. She's like, oh, well, like she's moving forward past that. So what can her mama say? But next we have Nell's dreadhead.
This is so
Ashley and Manuel. Now, Ashley surprises Manuel with a visit from his best friend, Jonathan, who apparently lives in New York, who hasn't seen Manuel in 6 years. Now Manuel is surprised and is obviously very happy to see him. He said that I guess they've still been talking, and he's been helping him with his transition and coming to America. And so they make small talk, and she's actually asking him how he learned English, and basically he said he learned it from being on the street and like, just talking to people, making, just being social. And he basically tells Manuel he has the best possible teacher, which is really true, especially since she knows both languages. Um, but Ashley urges them, go out, get out and explore Rochester. See what what was it? The garbage bucket. Go get a garbage bucket, or what's the name of the sandwich? Or
Girl, I don't even know that.
so
Well, I don't even think it was a sandwich. I think it was a plate full of crap.
a garbage plate. That's what it was. A garbage plate. So Jonathan asked Manuel if he really plans to marry Ashley, and he said he wouldn't across these continents if he didn't plan on doing that. He knows that they have their issues, but he likes fighting now in hopes that things will be smoother once they're married. He brings up Ashley's spending habits to Jonathan and basically says that he don't like it, and he feels like she's very wasteful and she could be using that money to send to his family. And Jonathan kind of reminds him that like it's different over here than it is in Ecuador, and that like you can't feel bad about spending on yourself just because you're thinking about your family. So basically Manuel feels like Ashley has never really experienced hardship, and he's basically just homesick and missing Ecuador. Then he says that he is going to marry Ashley, but actually doing it, the act of it is going to be the hardest.
It's harder than saying it.
And I said, well, damn. So then Ashley and Manuel go out with Jonathan all together, for Ponderosa. And she wants all the tea on what was said about her. So Jonathan tells her how happy Manuel is with her. And then she brings up her issues about him trying to control her money and how much she sends and spends. And basically Jonathan makes it clear that it needs to be a balance. Same thing he told him between spending and saving. Manuel thinks that she doesn't take responsibility for what she spends, and doesn't send enough, and she feels like he's being ungrateful. And yeah, they just had that little back and forth. And but what she did say was, I think that his family should be lucky or something.
Yeah, because he said she sent. Well, he for one, he downplayed it. Well, she's only sent 200 in 2 months. And
right, and she was like, that could have been a light bill.
She was like, well, they're lucky they got that.
Right. And so this apparently makes Manuel upset. And then he's like, well, I would like to see her live in Ecuador on $200 a month. And
I
then
wouldn't be waiting for somebody to send me $200 a month.
Ashley reminds Jonathan she's paying everything on her own. And, he says that, he needs it. So she insists that she does too. And, he says for shoes and clothes, which I was like, oh, this is getting, Ashley gets upset when Manuel.
And that's what I worked for, to enjoy it.
So she gets upset when he says he doesn't support her, or she doesn't support him, I'm sorry. And then Ashley goes through a list of things that she does for Manuel, which I really don't like when people do, because at the end of the day, you knew what you were signing up for when you brought him over here. So no, you didn't have to get him those things, but you did. So let's not try to, I get why she's upset about the him sending money thing, but let's not go into phones. Let's not go into.
I can understand that when people are throwing it in your face, but to me, this is a reminder, because clearly you don't see how I'm being supportive. You don't understand how I'm supporting you. So clearly I need to remind you how you're being supported. I'm not just going to sit here and be quiet and, oh, okay, if you don't feel like I'm being supportive, then let me remind you, because clearly you need a refresher course. I don't feel like she's just throwing it in his face.
Y'all, she done got fired up by her dreadhead sister. So Manuel tells Jonathan that the fact that she said his family should feel lucky hurt him, and that's basically kind of how they ended. And she's mad and upset, and it is what it is. Ashley and Manuel gonna end up getting married, and she's still gonna. That's why I'm just like, you gonna keep going through this battle.
And then it looked like in the next episode they went in the bathroom and worked it all out.
Right.
Next up is Clayton and Anali. Now this is
I said something. She don't like him.
I told you that. You the one that didn't want to believe.
Like him.
I told you that. You did not want to believe.
She does not like him. And I was trying so hard. I would like the last 2-3 episodes. I was like, come on, Anali, come on. And she does not like that man.
I tried to told you. So Anali is still pissed after Clayton overly shared about their sex life. Clayton made her some breakfast. They went outside and he apologized. He said, he's the type of guy that likes to speak his mind. And she feels, okay, that's fine. But if you want to talk to your
Credit
best
by
friend,
expense.
yeah, if you want to talk to your best friend about that, don't do it in my face.
Right.
Like, that's private conversation y'all should be having, okay? Then he let her know that, you know, he plans on meeting with Cameron to surprise her with something for the wedding. She was like, "Oh, okay, because is she your new girlfriend?" He was like, "Yeah, you know, you could be the sister wife." Cameron and Clayton, they went to do some dance classes. The instructor felt like Clayton looked like he was limping, while
They
Cameron,
went to learn like a traditional Peruvian dance or something.
but Cameron was impressed. He said that he did a lot better than he thought. After that, he pulled him to the side and let him know
You've
that, you
known
know,
him for 2 days, brother. Get out of here. He did better
he said
than
what?
you've known him for like 2 days.
But, you know, sometimes you can tell from people's personality.
Good point.
Now he pulled him to the side and let him know that he has concerns about his relationship. He said that he's concerned because, you know, they're not having sex and she's hiding their relationship from her father. Clayton says parts of him wants to, you know, go to her, tell her, you know, either she let the father know or he'll do it. But he knows basically this will not end well, and also knows that this should not be a deciding factor, which makes Cameron feel like he's really just worried about losing his happiness, and tells him that he believes that Anali is uncertain about him. We all see it except for Clayton. When Clayton got back to the house with Cameron, Anali was
I
curious.
know his sister gonna be like, I was right about that.
Anali was curious to find out what they were talking about, and nobody said anything. Okay, except for some goodbyes. Cameron said goodbye to her because, you know, he says it'll be a while before he sees them again, and I'm thinking that he may think that he'll never see her again. Clayton decides to go light up the grill and make her a special dinner so that they can have a conversation. Now, in this conversation, as soon as her dad came up, she gave this man a look and everything went
She
left.
was visibly like irritated. She just the way she looked up from her plate, like, you know,
Why
we
are we
don't
doing
talk
this?
about my.
Why we
It was also we don't talk about Bruno type shit.
Yes. Basically, she was like, we've already discussed this. Why does this keep on coming up? She's like, I told you I would let my dad know. Okay. And he's like, well, it's been 2.5 years and you still haven't said anything. Yeah, she really wasn't trying to even get into it. She wasn't trying to go back and forth with this man. She got up from the table crying. She was upset. I don't know, it was giving manipulation tears. And you know, he just doesn't understand. He was like, what, why is she so upset? Why is she crying? Is she in danger or something? So I think, you know, I think that's part of the reason why she won't have sex with him. I think that it even pisses her off that he mentioned sex on camera, because she doesn't want her family to know, when if they watch this, she doesn't want them to know that they've had sex.
Wow, that's a great point. Look at Nellz.
I don't know.
Digging deep. But I like the fact, well, I won't like the fact, but Clayton gonna fold.
He's been folding for 2.5 years.
I don't know if you saw the preview, but she was just like,
She
well,
said, I'd rather
she was
break
like,
up.
we can break up.
She said, I'd rather break up than do this. Because what we not about to do. I
I
get the
said,
ultimatum. We ain't
whoa.
doing none of this.
That's when I was like, you really don't like him. You don't care.
I tried to told you.
Sometimes she's right, guys. But anyway, thank you guys.
Most of the time, girl.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another review of 90 Day Fiancé Season 10. If you have not already, please make sure that you hit that like button.
Make sure you comment.
You subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
Make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And yes, catch us next week for another review of 90 Day Fiancé. Have a good night.
Good night.